So it's been like a month or so that we've
It has
chatted,
like longer than that. I mean, the days.
right? They just
Oh, yeah. It's been so cool.
they're like flying by. So that is what you're not doing because
Yeah.
you were stuck in traffic and so kind to pull over and say, hey,
Yeah.
let's do a little chat. Let's catch us up. So I'll introduce myself. As they probably know, we'll probably do a little introduction prior to this thing even linking in. But Robert Greer with Arms Medical. This is the Friday podcast with Dr. Anna Toker, colorectal surgeon, coming out of beautiful Dallas, Fort Worth, Mansfield. You know,
North Texas, baby.
yeah, exactly, representing. And Instagram, Dr.
Yes.
Pooper Fixer,
Yes.
right?
Ask Dr. Pooper Fixer.
Ask Dr. Pooper Fixer.
Right.
Yeah, so she is. You've got your following's getting up there, right?
We're starting to get, yeah, we're starting to get a crowd. You
Okay.
know, humble, it's just humble little old me. And I do videos from time to time. The popular one is the Tushy Tuesday.
Okay. So
Um,
talk to me about that.
and
So Tissue Tuesday.
Tushy Tuesday. So, because I'm a colorectal surgeon and, Rob, the way that you've known me for years now is doing pelvic floor reconstruction type surgeries for
Right.
patients. And a big part of what I talk about to these patients before surgery, after surgery, is their diet, not just to heal the operation, but maybe to prevent a surgery or to prevent a recurrent problem.
Right.
And so that's morphed into a series of nutritional conversations. In fact, I even opened a med spa for weight loss and that sort of dietary advice. And so on Tuesdays, we talk dietary advice that helps people who have hemorrhoid complaints.
Okay. Which is a
Because
lot of people.
that's a lot of people. Your hemorrhoids are like the canary in the coal mine.
Yep.
They're just sort of giving you the you're not digesting properly signal. You probably already know you're not digesting properly and you won't change your life until your butt tells you you better change.
Right.
It's time to change something, mister. Your butt hurts.
Right.
So that's probably my most common.
Issue Tuesday. You've got Mariel. How many followers does Dr. Toker have on Ask Dr. Pooper Fixer? We're gonna get some numbers here. While we're chatting away, I'm gonna make Mariel. I'm gonna have Mariel work. So that's what's going. But you've got some other like positive
Yeah.
things happening in your life, right? With
So
regards
it's
to
we do.
this whole diet thing, and
Yeah.
you launched a website
Yep.
recently.
I have. Yeah,
400 and how many?
been a
18.
it's been an odd sort of journey. So basically, because of the med spa and during COVID, I kind of went on a mission where I wanted people to live a healthier lifestyle, because the you remember the days that the mortality rate of COVID was related to a couple things. Your age, can't control that.
Right.
Your vitamin D status, which you can control, and your weight, which you can also control.
Right.
And so all the nonsense with masks and vaccines, I mean, really have proven to not have helped at all. But what would have helped at least survivability would have been some improved diet and some weight loss. And so since I was on this mission, I started putting together a webinar that I was going to promote online. Only I did not know how to do that. So I took this master course in marketing,
Okay.
a marketing master course. And in the process, I met a person who was teaching me how to kind of do some of this businessy stuff I didn't know how to do. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, what you're talking about sounds very, very similar to what we're helping another company with."
Right.
and they don't have a doctor, and you should meet them. And so I wound up meeting a company, and I think you met some of those people also, at a nutritional company called Kiani,
Yep.
and they ultimately got sold, but at the time it was Kiani, and their spokesperson who had put together a diet program for them is named Mark McDonald, and you
Right.
met Mark.
I did.
Very energetic young man. And so he had put together this dietary program which he wrapped into their whole food nutrition, and they were launching his program when the company got purchased by
Right.
another company.
Yep.
And then I don't know what happened. It's not really important, but he's no longer with that company. But it's his dietary program that he developed many, many, many years ago through a company called Venus Nutrition. So he owns Venus Nutrition and that nutritional concept and a particular style of eating, a lifestyle change of eating. And so he joined up with a behavioral specialist. Her name is Carrie Lapoli,
Okay.
and they put together this huge program, which is a combination of clean eating, kind of understanding what it is that you're eating and why, along with time management and how to cook and how to exercise and how to deal with stress and sort of the mental aspect of the why we do the things that we do. And so it's a 100-day program. They just launched it actually. And so when I was calling him one day because I hadn't seen him, I'm like, "Where's Mark?" I called him and he's like, "Oh, Dr. Anna, I need you because our program is missing the digestive link."
Right.
Right. So we're telling, and that is an enormous link, by the way, and it's a rather complex topic. And being from South Louisiana, I've learned how to take very complex topics and make them very simple because my people are simple.
Right.
I come from a land of simple language, it's just that's how we communicate in the South. So anyway, so I'm kind of like the translator of taking really complex topics that would be seemingly boring and maybe even seemingly unrelated, and translating that in a way that sort of helps the average person be more successful when they're changing their lives from a dietary standpoint. And so his program is 100 days. So I'm in the process of creating a 100-day collateral program that will sort of be
It'll
I don't know,
coincide with it.
yeah, a companion program.
Sure.
And so he's got, I mean, people purchase a membership through his whatever. And at some point, hopefully in the next month, you'll see my face and my name as part of one of the ancillary add ons for those who are interested in improving kind of not just their digestive health, but improving the likelihood that they will succeed mentally and physically with a lifestyle change by making sure they focus on the process of digestion. So I took the digestive system, I broke it into kind of 10 important aspects, not anatomic areas, but important aspects like hydrating, getting sleep, considering that there's microbiology going on in the intestines. What does stress do to that? What does exercise do to help that, et cetera, et cetera. So I break that down into 14 different weeks, into little segments. And each week we kind of hit on the different elements of the digestive tract. So if we're talking about liver health this week, because liver is digestive, but liver is also critical for your mentation, and liver is also critical to if you want to lose weight, improve your blood sugar, improve your blood pressure, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So we focus on the liver, and then how does that relate to the microbiome? How does that relate to hydration? What can I do if I'm trying to improve my liver health? What can I do digestively to help do that? Does that make sense? Like I'm
It
trying to
does. It does.
tie.
Yeah. And the thing is, um, when we get done with this, then Muriel's gonna spend a little bit of time, and she'll put some of your information up at the same time so that people can take a look at it, absorb it, and of course, you've got
Oh,
your new website, right? Is it
yeah.
Dr. Anna? What
DrAnnaToker.com.
okay. And that was
And
available?
it is online now. And in theory,
Okay.
there there's a theory, because I asked the website and I haven't double checked to make sure they fixed it. But people who are interested in Mark's program, Mark and Carrie's program, it's called PFC3. And there is a link where you can join his program
Okay.
in anticipation of seeing any of the stuff that I post there. And in theory, when you click that button, it's supposed to take you kind of to a landing page where you can read all about it. And so I don't know if that, I haven't double checked yet. It's a brand new website.
It'll
So
if
if
it's
you're
not there tonight, it'll be there in the
there,
next coming weeks. It's coming.
well, I'll pretend to be a patient tonight and let me just kind of see.
Okay.
So when you log on, because my surgical website says drtoker.com. So like if you want to know about how do I prepare for colonoscopy, I have free videos online there for people who want to learn about their butts, to people who want to learn how to do a colonoscopy, my pre-op regimen, my post-op regimen. I my patients go to that as their go-to source. And if you're about to have hemorrhoid, I have people from all over the world. Oddly enough, I don't know how they find it. They found it on YouTube. I guess you can find almost anything, and they'll watch it and they'll ask me questions on the YouTube chat or whatever, and I do tend to respond to those. So anyway, it's a decent resource, very similar in name. So when you go to drannatoker.com, you'll see a link that says, if you're a surgical patient, click here, like you found the wrong website.
Right.
So the Dr. Anna Toker is really more about the wellness aspect. And so my webinar series, which is going to be on Mark's platform, but then also he is launching a TV show this week. And I'm apparently going to be a pretty regular guest, I guess, on the show. My segment is called Gut Check, just so you know. So look for Gut Check. And so
Love it.
I feel like I don't know how this has happened to me, but here I am. There's his show is being shot out of Atlanta, but I think I zoom in.
Okay.
I think I'm a zoomer. I'm a gut check zoomer. That's what it was.
Perfect. So let's say it's interesting because your regimen for your colonoscopy, which is the pills, I've shared
Yes.
that with some other surgeons that I work with because they have a lot of their ladies prior to doing their pelvic
Yes.
floor reconstruction. They want them
Clean.
doesn't have to be as clean as what you like it to be, but it certainly needs to be clean, right? It's got
Yeah.
and they have found that to be a much better avenue for their patients.
The patients like it. It's a compliance issue, when you want someone to take something.
Right.
If it tastes terrible, they're just not going to do it.
Well, they're
You know-
gonna do it up to a point, but it doesn't really solve it's gonna be, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'm clean, but not really, right? And
Not really.
and we've all been in those cases when you find out very quickly when they're not.
Yes,
So-
we have.
Try to prevent those
That's
things.
my least favorite. That's my least favorite case. You've been on a couple of those.
Yes.
Like,
So you should probably I'd add that to your website too because I think that's that particular brand. We'll throw it up. Muriel will throw it up the actual product itself because I think that helps a lot of people out because it steers them away from the soupy, bad tasting, powdery, chalky. I mean, I don't know. Are there other ways to describe it? I don't think there is.
it's the preps that we will use sometimes for different procedures can taste quite horrible. And again, this is one of those with every bad event in this world and world history, usually wars and whatnot. There's always some kind of good technology that comes out of it.
Sure.
So during COVID, and some of the people watching this will know this, and some will not realize this, but the active ingredient in Miralax and in a lot of bowel preps is something called polyethylene glycol. And as it turns out, and that's okay, now think about what I'm saying, that you drink it and it flushes out your system because your body doesn't like it.
Right.
Oh, and it cleaned the system.
Right.
Okay, that substance was used as a carrier that got injected into all of us who were forced to be vaccinated. Okay, so that substance doesn't belong in your muscle tissues.
Right.
It doesn't really even belong in your intestinal tract, which is why when you take it, it gives you the
Well,
runs.
that's why your intestines go, hey,
Hey, I like it.
you don't
Yeah,
like
so that's
this, and
another
I'm gonna do everything I can to force it out.
correct.
Right.
And so, um, because they were making billions and billions of these doses of vaccine throughout the world, you could not get polyethylene glycol. So all of my prescription preps were sort of like no longer being manufactured. And so one of the second thing that was happening is very difficult to get plastic because of the shipping freeze. You remember that kind of scenario where you
Right.
couldn't get stuff like that. So the materials to make the bottles for the prep also you could not find. So this one company that had it's a saline based bowel prep.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were still making their bowel prep, but the problem is they couldn't find a bottle for the liquid. Well, it's salt. They just turned it into salt tablets and said, to hell with it. We'll just different type of plastic, smaller bottles.
Right.
We find
Tiny.
that.
We have enough of those. Like
We have enough of those. And so they switched. They completely switched. It is the exact same low volume saline prep that you could write a prescription for, and you could no longer write for the liquid. So now it comes in tablets. And frankly, my patients do like it. I use a pharmacy out of Ohio that will apply an industry coupon so that because it's new and the pharmaceutical companies give a coupon for their new drugs to allow people to take it
yeah.
cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So and then they mail it. It's awesome. Patients don't have to go anywhere. It comes to their front door
Shows
and
up.
they get a discount on it. So it's like, wow, that was really that was one of the only good things about COVID, I think.
And the QR code with all the menus because those things were disgusting. So
Right,
it's
exactly.
like
That's not a bad thing. And being able to Zoom, I'd never heard of Zoom honestly prior to the pandemic, and we were able to now do telemed and actually get reimbursed
right.
for it. So there's okay. The disaster had a few silver not very many, and I certainly don't need another disaster to get anything else cool.
Right.
I'm tapped out on cool. Yeah, I've done enough cool.
We're good with that. So yeah. So here's I was digging from in my bag. This is kind of funny. This is the collagen that you recommended, which
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
So why do you recommend collagen? What's that?
So from an intestinal standpoint,
Okay.
so I also own a med spa. So there's two reasons I suggest the collagen. And then a personal reason. So I'll go through them. So from an intestine standpoint, the lining of the intestines live on something called a basement membrane. So just imagine, look, I'm sitting in a field of green. That's all grass. So just close your eyes and imagine a field of green grass. Okay. And the blades look like they pretty much touch each other, right? They kind of just all shoot up at once and they're all connected. There's like a root system underneath the grass.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So the lining of the cells that line the intestines, stand next to each other like little soldiers, right? And they're shoulder to shoulder. They're touching each other, and they're standing on top of a ground. We call a basement membrane, and running through this basement and underneath this basement membrane are all the blood vessels and the nerves and the lymphatics and that sort of thing. So
and we're going to show a picture of it too because we talk the same lingo for our dermapier and venu. So basement membrane, everything below it. So
and all of that is cobbled together with collagen. So there's several forms of collagen. They are linked together in various different ways. Your body does naturally make collagen. So a lot of people will ask, why am I spending this kind of money on this collagen if I could just eat protein and my body makes collagen? So, and that is a true statement. But you have to have all 20 amino acids. You have to have a high quality protein. You also need to have vitamin C, and you also need to have a substance called hyaluronic acid. And you may not be getting all of those things all at the same time.
Right.
So your body may be prioritizing the protein you're consuming for other functions and not for the maintenance of your soft tissue structures. And so if you take a high quality collagen that's easy for your body to absorb, so what we call hydrolyzed collagen. So we're not telling you to eat the tendons, from your steak,
Right.
because you can't absorb that.
Right.
So you want something that's pressure cooked. So the way they take this collagen, this is organic, grass fed, beef derived collagen, and then they pressure cook it in a way to hydrolyze it, so your body can absorb it, and they combine it with hyaluronic acid, which your body needs, and then they also combine it with an organic form of vitamin C. In the instance in that packet, I believe it's a combination of apple cider vinegar and some mango.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're getting a natural source of vitamin C, not ascorbic acid. And that is a totally another lecture. This is why I have a long lecture series. But ascorbic acid is a totally different thing. That's what we sell as vitamin C. Your body cannot use it to create collagen.
No.
So if you're taking a vitamin C supplement, thinking, okay, I'm getting my vitamin C, what are you talking about? Your body cannot use that for the purpose of cross-linking collagen. And if you're not cross-linking your collagen, you're losing it. So you'll lose intestinal integrity. And because the lining of the intestines are responsible for not just do you have a tummy ache, but your blood sugar, your liver health, whether you've lost weight, gained weight, autoimmune diseases, diabetes, high blood pressure, your cholesterol, your mental health. I mean, all these things relate to your intestines. So where the basement membrane goes away, so do all of those health features.
Right.
When the lining of the intestines, those little cells, those enterocytes, if they are sick or sickly or injured, then there goes your mental health. You want to know why we have a mental health crisis in this country? It's because everyone has GI inflammation, to be honest with you. So anyway, so that's from a GI standpoint why I suggest the collagen. Now, personally, I have psoriatic arthritis, and I'm older. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I am older. My skin is getting thin and a little wrinkly, and I've not done my Botox. Okay, so just so you know, this is all natural. And so when you consume these collagen, yeah, it's going to help your intestines, but it'll help your joints if you have inflammation, and it'll thicken the skin a little bit also. So
And a little hair too.
a little hair, a little nails. So when I do surgeries on patients, particularly pelvic floor surgery, right?
Right.
Pelvic floor surgery, I need stuff to heal, and I need ligamentous and muscular structures to heal, not just my incisions, but the pelvic floor. And so, I mean, I've got an entire nutritional regimen to promote healing. The collagen is important to that because your wounds are all skin and soft tissues and ligaments and that sort of thing. I mean, this has to heal. So I make people take that. And I've had several patients like, my nails and my hair have never been this good. Can I keep taking your look, it's organic, it's food.
Right.
You can take that all the days of your life. It's easy. It's once a day, a little Slurpee pack. If you wanted to do it twice a day, you could. So that's it. That is the collagen supplement that I still to this day suggest. And their company has a different name brand on the top of it. I think they kept the Kiani packaging though.
They did. They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it arrives. It's on auto ship. I take it with me. Travel. Super easy. The breakfast that I get at the Courtyard Marriott. Not a lot of nutrition in that. Can you imagine?
No, it's not. No, I just don't know how you do your job. That is so hard traveling. I mean, I don't even know how you do it. But again, can I just say, and again, people in your audience watching might also have one of these travel jobs, or they're just a mom who has kids, and it's always the kids and the husband first before the mom gets involved.
Right.
They may think that I am so unhealthy because I never really take the time for myself. I do highly encourage people to sign up for Mark's program because he does address that. Like, how do you live a normal life and not constantly think about what you're eating, how to eat. Am I on a diet? He does not use the word diet.
Right.
And
It's a lifestyle. It's a
it's a
lifestyle.
lifestyle. Yes, exactly.
And
It's when I go to a restaurant, what can I pick off the menu that's going to be for my purpose? Right.
yeah,
So, and it's a shame. And this is part of my lecture, why your body loves donuts and yet donuts do nothing for you.
right.
And yet the spinach salad, which is going to do a lot for you, you don't typically crave. And there is there's a rather complex reason for that, which is unfortunate. But it's just the bacteria in your intestines choose much of your behavior. It's a little daunting to think that many of your decisions that you are making in your life are actually not made by you. They're being driven by aliens that live within you, not in a schizophrenic way.
Right.
But but these microbiome, when you eat something that they like, they proliferate. And when they proliferate, they will make neurotransmitters. The most common one is serotonin.
Right.
And serotonin makes you feel good. So people who are depressed or have anxiety, they have low serotonin levels. This is why when you break up with your boyfriend, well, maybe not you, your girlfriend. So when something bad happens, you go straight for the ice cream. You want a carbolicious something. If you had a hard day, you reach for something carbohydrate-y.
Mm-hmm.
And it's simply because when you consume carbohydrate, it's not about the sugar rush. That's the thing. They always tell you, oh, it's about the sugar rush. You get the sugar free. That is not what's happening. I mean, it's a little bit of what's happening, but what's really happening is you're consuming something intestinal bacteria they make serotonin, calms your brain down.
Right.
So, if you know that, then you can now choose a high in tryptophan and serotonin protein alternative that will also calm your brain down without damaging the inflammation in your intestines by reaching for gluten or sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So if you get the turkey option or the free range high in omega-3 fatty acid eggs, you will actually get a serotonin rush eventually. I mean, it takes a little bit longer because there is no sugar in it.
Right. There's no quick boost. It just.
Yes, but eventually you get there. So once you train yourself to okay, you're going to eat something and it takes 10 minutes to get there as opposed to instantly. That instant part is the sugar. The reason you feel better 10 minutes later is simply because of the serotonin. So we want to get you there with the serotonin.
Due to all of the microbes and everything that's happening in your gut, actually pushing all that. So it's if you can think about it that way, you're going, maybe I don't want to do a left turn into Dunkin' Donuts and.
You don't want to because that's not you talking. The devil made me do it. It's like you can blame somebody else.
Right.
You can totally blame somebody else. But if you understand those things, it's a hell of a lot easier to think to yourself, it's not my free will that I'm battling. It's not, I can't do it kind of mentality. The reality, I mean, you can do it. The reason you're struggling is because you don't know why it's happening to you. Right?
Well, I've always, people go through this transition of, hey, I'm not going to have any sugar. And then once they get past a certain amount of time, I think everything settles down in their gut. And then they don't crave it until they have it again, and then they start the cycle again.
Yes.
Right.
And that sort of spike is not just an insulin spike. There's a complement to that, which is the microbiome. And so you can help yourself by truly eating the spinach. It's sweeter than you think. If you've not had sugar in a little while, you're like, someone put sugar in my walnuts. That's the question. They're sweeter than you think they are. And the only reason you think they're not sweet is because you're overwhelmed with they put sugar in everything. And worse yet, they'll put high fructose corn syrup in everything.
Yeah. Gotta watch out. Food ketchup. Right? You gotta get the Heinz that says simply on it.
Yes.
It's amazing. But if you go to Europe, you can't. It's not there, but it's certainly here. They love to.
Not there in Europe, and yes, exactly. So so that's the situation.
I've got a question because there's been a lot of news in about weight loss, and now this is these trends, right? You've got the different injections that people are taking.
Yep.
Uh, Talk to me about that because I'm sure you get hit with that because of your
Yeah.
spa.
And so you're right, in the med spa, and I do write for some of these prescriptions, but in my med spa, you're not allowed to get this prescription until you also are handed a packet that is a diet program. What is a clean diet, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
The downfall. So the semaglutide, that's the big one, the Wegovy, and all those injections. They're once a week. They are very effective appetite suppressants. And this is why they work, because you stop eating.
Right.
Okay, stopping eating does not actually help your metabolism, it hurts it. And so you have to know if you're on these injections. Some people listening to this right now are on these injections, I can guarantee it. It's so popular.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. So you got to make sure you're getting enough protein. When you're not eating anything. And when you're not eating anything, yeah, you're burning through fat. You're burning through fat, but you're burning through muscle.
Right.
It's not enough to say I lost 20 pounds.
Right.
If you've lost 20 pounds of muscle, you've injured yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
so I would
you lose all of that. So that muscle has that ability to burn calories. And
exactly.
so once you go back to whatever that routine is,
You gain your weight plus.
you gain weight plus because you just took out a whole bunch of little furnaces that
Correct.
burn calories.
Correct. Correct. So I like to have patients get biometric analysis every week so we can follow your muscle pattern. I force them to do at least 3 protein shakes in a given day. You should have 100 to 120 grams of protein, all 20 amino acids, when you are actively detoxing and when you're actively trying to lose weight and when you're actively trying to heal a wound. Because all of these chemical reactions are proteins. Every chemical react. Burning fat requires a protein chemical reaction. It's like that, right? So if you don't have enough protein in your diet, you're not going to be able to burn fat. It's not anatomically possible.
Right.
It's like it's an impossibility.
Things aren't connecting, it's not firing.
Things are not firing. I'm okay with an appetite suppressant to support someone who is learning how to do this the proper way. The issue is society has removed our natural instincts towards how to eat and completely removed our what food means to us. So food used to be a social thing. Food is also for survival, and we've turned it into some weirdo thing that's making us all ill. And so for you to kind of get back into what normal is, like what it's supposed to be like 100 years ago, the way kind of people ate, what they ate, the situation under which, how they ate it, that process, you're going to have to relearn. Your body naturally knew how to do this, and society removed it from you. Like babies know how to do this, and toddlers know how to do this. And then you are taught how to overeat and eat all the wrong stuff.
Right.
So you got to unlearn all that. If having an appetite suppressant helps you in this process, I'm all for that because I want people to succeed. But if you think you're going to be on this medicine, lose weight, stop the medicine, the weight stays off, and you've not changed anything, I'm afraid to tell you you're probably wrong, especially if you've not been tracking your musculature.
Right.
You got to do weight resistant exercises. You got to get your protein.
Right.
Got to have someone checking your muscles frequently.
Yeah, and you guys do the bioimpedance. You check how much muscle they have because that's really the key. So I used to tell people, I used to share people, this is a pound of muscle. This is about this big, and then here's a pound of fat. It's just like it's a surface area, right?
Yeah,
right?
It is. It's huge. And honestly, I would take a pound of muscle gain over a pound of fat loss any day of the week.
Yeah,
because the more muscle you have, the more likely it is that 1 pound that you didn't lose of fat That's coming off. You just have to give it some time. And the other thing is you got to repair your GI tract, your gut. The whole purpose of my lecture is because the people who sign on to Mark's program are trying to do this, usually because they're trying to lose weight or get rid of their high blood pressure or their diabetes or something. But they have been unsuccessful because they don't realize their gut is completely inflamed and destroyed, and you have to redo it. You have to understand the why of what all this is going on. If you follow his program, because it's clean eating, and in the right proportions, eventually your gut will get there.
And how long do you think that takes?
It probably takes
To relearn, to go through that you've got to turn over all those blood cells. You've got to.
Yeah, yes. And that's going to be a 3 to 6 month period of time. And the problem is when you start eating healthy and you've got inflamed gut, all those veggies can make you feel bloated and miserable, and you'll quit because of it.
Right.
Right. So our goal is like, look, you're not going to quit. Let me give you a couple little hacks along the way so that all this good change for you is not thwarted, because your body's initial response, all that inflammation, is going to be gas, bloat, and constipation, diarrhea, whatever. It's gonna be a hot mess because you're detoxing. It is a detox, right? There's toxins. You got to get rid of them. You're not gonna like it. You just have to know it. And I treat it like chemotherapy. I mean, it's gonna be a suck fest, but when you're over it, you're done, and never go back. You never look back on cancer. It's a done deal. Right. And you're not going to look back on an unhealthy lifestyle. It's a done deal. It's like, it's done. So his program's 100 days, and mine is designed to sort of, kind of be a companion to that.
Right.
So that people can kind of understand that correlation. We don't want you quitting because you have an upset stomach. I also don't want you thinking my stomach is only upset because I haven't taken the proper supplements or whatever. Like, you might need a doctor. I am a doctor. I'm here to tell. I see patients with cancer who keep thinking they're going to yoga their way out of cancer. That is not going to happen. So the other part of my job is to make sure people understand, listen, if something's really not right, you do need the check.
Right.
Go to the doctor who's going to say you're not dying. And then once you hear that you're not dying, we're all on board with nutrition, because that's where it's at. If that makes sense.
I love it. I love it. We're at the top of the hour. You've got other responsibilities you have to get to, but as always, I love.
Yep.
Listen, I could talk to you for hours, days,
Oh
week.
my God, Rob,
And the notes and all these things, and so we're gonna throw up a lot of different edits to this. Yeah, tell me.
The TV show is on Brinks TV.
Okay.
And it's part of you can go to their website. It's called the NIL House. And the guys who started the NIL House are from the ESPN.
Okay.
So it's a sports themed everything.
Right.
And so it's NIL Nutrition is the name of Mark's program.
Okay.
And put up by Brinks TV. So you can go to brinkstv.com, I think, and find us there. Or you can be just traveling in the airport. When you're traveling in the airport, Rob, you're totally going to see me, okay? Don't let this mug...
At gate 29, you're going to be hanging out?
I'm going to be there, gate 29, telling you to stay away from weight. What am I going to tell you?
You say, I'm just going to, I'm going to take some more collagen. I'm going to take my sunrise, take my sunset, and, and my probiotic, and keep my gut healthy.
And poop properly. That's all I'm saying. It's all about the pooping.
So, quick question, just because I know women have these questions about the fiber chews, right? And those, are you a fan of those? Costco has them. Different brands make them, have them.
It's so. All right, my philosophy has always been the fiber supplement that allows you to be compliant is the one that I want you taking.
Okay.
Right. If you're holistic, you don't like taking vitamins and that sort of thing, the single best fiber supplement you can take is kiwi fruit, unless you're allergic. So 1 to 2 kiwi fruit per day in a study this is a scientific study, did more for IBS, especially IBS constipation, than any other fiber supplement or prescription medication out there. So one kiwi fruit in the morning, and if you want to do one in the morning, one in the evening, knock yourself out.
Right.
The reason being because it has soluble fiber, and it also contains something called a prebiotic fiber. So fruit contains prebiotic fiber. So does chicory root is one, and then I don't. Wait, hang on. Why am I blanking on this? Is because I want to say it's not avocado and it's not an asparagus. You know, it looks like the little tree, and you put the little, and it has a little, and you eat each little leaf. Why am I blanking on that?
Different basil, different.
No, it looks like a little pine cone.
Oh,
You go to a restaurant and they stuff them, and then you artichoke. Thank you.
artichoke.
Oh my God,
There you go. Yeah. So
that was my
artichoke.
garden.
Yeah. They're
Yeah, my guardian angel just gave me that answer. It's artichoke. So artichoke has this prebiotic fiber. So a prebiotic fiber actually does more to support a diverse microbiome than any probiotic. Right? So
yeah.
prebiotic fiber. And so the easiest way to get that is called inulin. You can get inulin. You just mix it. There's no taste to it. You can put inulin in anything. If you have a probiotic that contains inulin or some form of prebiotic fiber, you'll be fine.
Right.
So the one that I suggest, that Restore, has a prebiotic in it. That's why it works so well.
Right.
It's the digestive enzymes, a prebiotic, and some lactobacillus, and this is one of the reasons why it's so effective. So the inulin, I'm all on board. If you're going to do fiber, do a soluble fiber. Try to stay away from those that are artificially sweetened, because that'll dork you up.
Right.
So the gummy chews, I mean, like, prefer not unless they're naturally sweetened somehow with fruit. Naturally, get it by way of food. If you can get it by way of food, a kiwi fruit's the way to go. You can do Citrusol, you can do Metamucil, you can do plain psyllium. They do psyllium husk if you can tolerate the taste.
Right.
Put it in your protein smoothie, you won't know what's there. So
Easy. Any protein that you like? There's a ton of them. I mean, you've got.
There's a ton of them. You know what? Whey protein. If you're trying to detox because of inflammation, whey protein is an inflammatory. It's an inflammatory protein.
Right.
So in that case, I would do the vegetarian protein supplement. Some people think they're gassy, the vegetarian protein supplements, because they contain a lot of fiber. You've got to make sure, if you're getting a vegan protein supplement, that it has all 20 amino acids. You got to have all 20. Most of those are going to be pea protein. And so a pea protein supplement with all 20 amino acids, you're good. A organic, non-GMO, whey-based protein, if you're not in a state of, you don't have inflammation, you don't have heart disease, you don't have stomach upset, and you're not allergic to milk, then do a whey protein. Just make sure it's organic, non-GMO kind of stuff. And there's a million.
I know. That's why I just come to you and go, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Am I checking the boxes? Have I narrowed the scope? Is it covering the things I want?
I'm going to add to my website. We'll have like a market site that will be sort of, these are the following properly macroed out, non-GMO, holistic, to-go food items. Like if you're going on a hike and you want a protein bar, which one should I have? There will be a shopping cart and they will mail it to you. I just haven't set it up on my website yet,
Right.
but we'll start doing it, because everyone has that question.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, you just walk through any supplement.
You got to get through the marketing. It's tough. There's a lot of options, and I'm not married to any one of them, so whatever.
Yeah, as long as they have the right stuff in them. So, enjoy your night. Thanks for jumping on. We're gonna put a lot of fun edits into it so that the website and what else you have going on. I've got you scheduled to be back in 2 weeks with Dr. Zananti.
Totally, let's do it.
That'll be kind of a fun one, because that's gonna be brain to gut, gut to brain.
Gut brain. Now wait. Now I'm in Greece from May 26th until June 11th. So make sure it's like when I get home.
Okay.
I'll be tan and relaxed, baby. We'll be ready to talk. I'll talk for hours.
Okay. Fine. Love it. Hey, have a great time.
Right.
Travels. Enjoy the family. All right.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank
Talk
you.
to you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.